Hi, I'm Josh Korsauer, 3 Pedals, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
And I'm Seth Bittaharan, also from 3 Pedals, and I'm from Rockville, Maryland.
2 of us guys have been putting 6-speeds in cars for almost 20 years. We picked this wagon actually to prototype for our new G-body pedals. When I say pedals, I mean clutch and brake pedal assemblies. For those nuts like us who want to put a manual transmission into cars that never had it, we make the parts to do that. So this is our 1989 Pontiac Safari station wagon. It was pretty much all original and clean and solid when we got it. The original drivetrains on these things suck, so of course we ripped all that out. We ripped out all the suspension, all the brakes, all that stuff. This thing has a whole new drivetrain, new suspension, new brakes, everything all new, new interior, mostly new interior, and it's running like a top right now. Starting with the engine, it's a 2010 Camaro LS3 that we rebuilt at 3 Pedals. We upgraded a few things like the ARP connecting rod bolts, but it's mostly stock, except for a Master Motorsports cam and their ECU and tune. We just put down 435 horsepower at the rear wheels at the dangshift.com dyno here. So we use this to prototype our all-new pedal assembly for the G-bodies. Oddly enough, the full-size B-bodies take the same brake pedal as the G-bodies, so this is our G-body prototyping car. You want to talk about the transmission and the pedals?
Sure. So behind the LS3 engine, and to work with that clutch pedal, we have a T56 Magnum transmission from Tremec. It's very similar to what you would get in a late model 5th gen Camaro, Dodge Challenger, Dodge Viper uses them, Corvettes use a variety of it also. Handles 750 pound-feet of torque. It's a great transmission. It really lets us tear it up on the autocross.
One of the great things about the Magnum too, it allows for different shifter positions, and one of our key design criteria was to keep the bench seat for utilitarian value, of course. So the Magnum has 3 shifter positions. We're using the very forwardmost one, which allows us to keep the bench seat free and clear. To clear the bench seat though, we did have to make our own shift lever. Otherwise when we were shifting, we were changing the radio station and crushing fingers. So we made our own lever, polished stainless steel with our own billet aluminum shift knob to really kind of clean it up in there. Along with the 6-speed transmission, we changed the rear gears to 410s. Got an Inland Empire aluminum drive shaft, keeps things nice and smooth. My favorite part is the wheels. You want to talk about the wheels?
Sure. So the wheels are from Deluxe Wheels. They're designed to look like a 15-inch wheel. We can mount our original 15-inch wire wheel hubcaps on them because we wanted to make sure we retain that classic look. But they actually, the outer couple inches of the wheel looks like a tire, so it looks like you're running a very fat, tall sidewall, but we're actually running a 20-inch tire with a very narrow sidewall, so we can get the performance from a low-profile tire.
And we autocross the heck out of this thing, have a great time, and we love seeing people walk up to it and go, what the heck is going on with those wheels? So that's why it's my favorite part of the car. The suspension is our own package, coilover package. It's a couple different vendors. We're using Global West front control arms, Metco rear control arms, Viking coilover shocks, Speedtech coilover brackets in the back, and slightly upgraded front sway bar. And the crazy part, people are always blown away, there's no rear sway bar running on this thing. The wagon didn't come with a rear sway bar. A lot of people add it. We've got the exact same setup on our 95 Caprice cop car, test car, that's also a 6-speed manual. And suspension, station wagon and sedan, identical suspension, except the wagon has slightly stiffer springs in the back for this giant ass end. But with their double adjustable Viking coilovers, just completely changed the way the car rides. And we dial it up for the autocross, and I used to dial it down for the street, and I realized I can just keep the autocross setting for the street, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So we just keep it that way, and it just rides great. And on the autocross, man, it just, we're happy with it. Yeah, so the interior, we just, after getting the car mechanically pretty much sorted, we just finished up the interior. We put in speed hut gauges that we customized. The main feature is a giant tachometer front and center. We got inspired by a Porsche 911 sitting in our shop that we're working on, 1987 911. It's got a giant tach right in the middle, and that's definitely pairs well with the 6-speed manual. And then we added a bunch of other gauges. It really went for kind of a clean look, and we used the factory cover. So I think hopefully a lot of people look at it, don't even realize the gauges are custom. That's kind of the goal, oddly enough. But we get just what we need. I'm real happy with the way it came out. Yeah, the steering wheel is a Nardi wood wheel. Yeah, Nardi, they used to make like the vintage Ferrari wheels. So it's a wood grain wheel, aluminum center, and it goes great with the wood grain stickers from GM. You know, Italian wood, it's hard to see in pictures, but in real life the Italian wood looks better than the GM vinyl stickers. It's when you see them side by side, it just pops at you. The other things we love about the car, we got a Hayes Dragon Claw twin disc clutch, which is rated for 1150 horsepower. We're not there yet, but it's nice to know we have the room to grow without any issues. And we beat the crap out of that thing on the track, and it does great. Once we decided to kind of go full Pontiac on it, and we went with the shaker hood, that kind of took on a life of its own. And we are using a stock Trans Am air cleaner base from the 70s. I forget the years, but it covers a wide range of years. And then a fiberglass hood scoop, a 77 Trans Am reproduction scoop. And we chose a 77 because it has that sharp crease in it like our hood does. Most of the other years were like more rounded, so this one kind of fits the hood a little better. We measured once, twice, like 400 more times, then we cut. Then we nibbled away a little slowly. But what we did was we ended up cutting the whole, we made a metal trim ring, water jet cut a metal trim ring out of 1/8 inch thick steel. Once we nailed the shape of that became our cut guide on the hood. So we taped that to the hood, became our cut guide, and then we epoxied that to the hood underneath for rigidity because we're cutting away some bracing there.
Once we cut that hole, the hood became very flexible, very quickly.
Yeah, the vintage X-Cargo by Sears. Honestly, it's the snail that does it for me personally. We looked at, ran some numbers on filling it with helium, seeing what it would save us. Turns out only about 1.5 pounds, so we skipped the cost for now.
We're still exploring hydrogen as an option.
Yeah, we can fill a whole cavity back here. Really, we figure we discovered we probably shave a few pounds. Really. Right now, it's 2.1 tons of fun, 4250. Yeah, 3pedals.com is our website, where our e-commerce just went live. We're adding stuff to it as often as we can, but we're always a phone call or email away. We ship worldwide. We install if you want to come to Sterling, Virginia. We get people coming in from like 12 hours away. It's pretty cool. And we do all sorts of things. We do the 6-speed conversions are our favorite. LS swaps are our kind of a close second favorite. But we also do suspension upgrades, handling, clutch upgrades, clutch replacements, transmission rebuilding, wide range of things. But obviously, with a name like 3 Pedals, you can tell we love. Yeah, so we've sold almost 200 of our B-body conversion kits. So the 91 to 96 GM full-size cars. So the Chevy Caprice, the Chevy Impala, the Buick Roadmaster, the old Custom Cruiser, and the D-body, the Cadillac Fleetwood of the same years. So we've done almost 200 of those. Crazy enough. Who knew there were so many nuts out there? And we're about to launch our G-body pedals, which again fits the 77 to 90 B-body, such as this one. Other kits we're working on next, full-size trucks. We're getting a lot of people ask about full-size trucks. So I think we're looking at the square-body Chevy trucks as our very, very next one after the G-bodies. Getting out of the GM world for a second, Dodge Charger, Chrysler 300 platform is another one on our short-term list here. Yeah, we're also making, fitting anyone who's retrofitted a T56, whether it's the older T56 or the T56 Magnum or TR6060, has most likely noticed that they're very large transmissions. When I say large, it's, when you look from the side, they're really tall for a long time. They don't float down like a lot of transmissions, so they're kind of tall. They don't, So we've got a couple of parts not with me, but low-profile parts to gain extra clearance. So our first set of products from the T56 Magnum, it's a shifter base and a mid-plate cover, CNC milled out of aluminum, and it picks up, gives you an extra 0.6 inches, almost 5/8 of an inch extra clearance. And on certain applications, that's the difference between cutting and fabricating something in your floor and just cutting the hole. It really simplifies it. For certain, when you need that extra space, picking up that 0.6 inches really makes a big difference. And we got more products like that in the works as well.